You might be wondering about finding happiness through daily rituals. If you are, stay tuned. We got the right video for you. In this video, we are talking about how to find happiness in your daily life through daily rituals. We will reveal a few of our daily rituals in order to find happiness. And then we'll give you the 3 fast, fun, easy daily rituals that you can do to start finding happiness right now. Look, I don't care what anyone says, a life where you're miserable all the time is not much of a life at all, really.
I know stuff happens and it's hard. Life happens, and we're not telling you to put your head in the sand. But if you are miserable in your life, the majority of the time, that's a huge red flag that something needs to change.
Yeah, huge. And the fastest way to stop being miserable and start bringing joy into your life is to control the one thing you always can control, which is you. I mean, no matter what's happening in your life or even in the rest of the world, and believe me, there's a lot of crap happening in the rest of the world, you always have a say in what you think, feel, believe, and what you do.
And the sooner you change what you think, feel, believe, and do, the sooner you get to be happy.
And you know, it's not as hard as you think to start making simple changes that make a big difference.
The first fast, easy habit you can use to bring joy into your daily life is to practice gratitude. Have an attitude of gratitude.
I think our mom says that, doesn't she?
So often, Cristy, we focus on what's not fair, what's not going right. We kind of get into the whole self-pity thing and how we're getting screwed over and how everyone has done us wrong. And meanwhile, we ignore or diminish all the things that we have to be grateful for. Mama Carol always says there is always something to be grateful for.
Yep, that's
thankful
right.
and grateful.
Because I tell you what, no matter how bleak things seem, there's probably one thing you are sincerely grateful for.
Every day, either when you get up or before you go to bed, write down 1, 2, 3 things that you're sincerely grateful for. I mean, you can write 10 if you want, but you at least need to write 1. This is going to make a huge difference in how you feel.
The second thing you can do, so the first one was write it down. Write down things that you're thankful for. We got that. The second thing you can do to bring joy to your daily life is to celebrate your wins.
I don't know why it's so much easier to beat yourself up and focus on all the things you're doing wrong. But as the saying goes, thoughts become things.
And if you're only focusing on the things that you're doing wrong, well, that's all that you're ever gonna see, really.
Beating yourself up for what you do wrong is not very motivating. For most people, it has the opposite effect. You start to think, why bother? I can't do it right. And then you just start spiraling down that self-hate highway, and that's a bad place to be.
Yeah, it's really bad. So instead of beating yourself up and saying things that you wouldn't even say to your worst enemy, come on, flip the script.
Right after you write down those 1 to 3 things that you're grateful for in step number 1, write down 1 to 3 things that you consider a win. And they can be big wins or anything, really.
Yeah, it can be simple, like just getting out. With some people, it's like just getting out of your bed is a win and facing your day when you really didn't even want to.
And they can be complex, they can be simple, they could be something like, I got out of bed and I got in the shower. Or I didn't say bad things to myself today. Or I didn't argue with my kids about lunch when they came home. They don't have to be big things. It's just something that you did better than you did yesterday. That's what we really care about.
And I know with Code Red Rebels, when people get started, it's so overwhelming. They're like, I've got 120 pounds to lose, or I've got 47 pounds to lose, and it seems a lot. So what we say is, what can you do today? Can you just drink your water?
Right.
We start them off with something simple. So really, don't get hung up on the things that you write down not being that big of a deal. I mean, there's some people that battle with severe depression. Just getting out of bed, like we mentioned, is a really big deal to those guys.
I mean, you don't have to write down, I invented a new antibiotic today. Like, we're okay.
Right.
Like, just the fact that I got out of bed, I put a bra on, I got out of my pajamas, I fed the chickens, I collected eggs, and everyone in my house is still living. That can be a win. And I think it's important to take the little things.
Totally. All right, the third thing you can do to bring joy to your daily life is to practice daily self-care. And self-care is a phrase that totally gets thrown around a lot.
Right.
But most people don't even realize how important it is.
Because when you deprive yourself of self-care, there are negative consequences. I have seen, and Cristy has seen, people get depressed, overwhelmed, anxious, moody, angry, and even terrible things when it goes too far, like nervous breakdowns, because they were not making time for regular self-care. When I was a new mom, I used to say, I don't know where it is, but I'm there. I don't know where there is, but I'm there. That was one of my famous lines, because I did not take care of myself, and I would let myself get so overwhelmed by life.
Before we go any further, I would love to, I would love you just to be honest and comment below and say, if you practice self-care. I mean, do you have any daily rituals? Do you have anything you do to help honor yourself and to help make you feel rejuvenated? Comment below. I love your comments. I read them. I reply to almost all of them. I want to hear what you have to say. See, whether you like it or not, your mind and body have needs. I mean, so do mine. All of us have needs. And if you're not taking care of your needs with healthy self-care or allowing other people to help you, I guarantee you're meeting those needs in unhealthy, self-sabotaging ways. We've all done it, sis.
And self-care is a necessity. I think it's also really important to point out that doing self-care and participating in self-care is not a sign of weakness. It's important, and you've got to make it a priority. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a necessity. And I'm speaking from experience here. When I neglect my self-care, I get impatient. Do you?
Yeah, I do. For me, I snap at my husband. I'm very impatient with my dogs. I might snap at an employee or take it out on somebody else. It really is not good when I'm neglecting myself. What about you?
Well, and absolutely. I just find that I get less and less tolerant of the stresses that come up because I didn't go to the gym, because I'm not drinking my water, things like that.
Even like you love to read a book. Even if you could take 30 minutes and just stop and read and like give yourself a brain break.
I know that seems crazy to a lot of you, but I'm telling you, that makes such a big difference. Now, Cristy, you're really good at self-care.
I am, but my biggest thing about self-care is what I eat. Because when I eat like crap, I feel like crap. So that's a form of self-care. You know,
I think to make it self-care a daily habit, you have to have a list of activities that refresh you and rejuvenate you physically and mentally. For you, it may be going outside and taking off your shoes and socks and just standing on the ground. For somebody else, it may be spending a half hour with the binoculars looking at the birds outside. I mean, it could be anything.
People do that?
You love. Yeah, bird watchers, they have whole books on it. Pick the things that help you feel loved and are good for you. So for Cristy and I, we like to exercise. I do not feel well unless I go to the gym almost every single day. I start to ache like an old lady. I also like massages. Cristy does too.
Yeah,
baths,
our hair and
getting our hair and nails done.
Yeah.
I still struggle with feeling guilty about it from time to time, Cristy.
Yeah, we were just talking about this before we started recording, and I actually even feel guilty, and I'm a pet parent. I'm not even a real parent. And when I put my dog in the kennel with my puppy in the kennel and I want to go take myself to breakfast, I feel bad. I'm like, I close that door. He doesn't feel bad. Why do I feel so bad about a dog?
I don't understand it either. Maybe if you actually know the answer to that, you can comment below.
Yeah, comment below and
tell us why.
Help us out here.
Why do we feel so terrible taking care of ourselves? But one thing I don't feel terrible about, Cristy, is eating healthy, nutritious food. Because when I eat poorly, I really don't feel well.
Yeah. It's not a form of self-care when you're like, let's order that pizza, and then you feel like junk after that. You know, your self-care can be really just whatever's going to work for you. It just needs to be good for you and leave you feeling better physically, mentally, and just all around better about yourself.
Along with daily gratitude and celebrating wins every day, you can bring instant joy to your daily life by also implementing the self-care part.
Yeah, this might seem hippity-dippity to you guys, but really, it's just something I don't see a lot of people doing. And I don't know, they beat themselves up over it, and they just feel bad, and it's ridiculous. I don't know why more people don't make this a top priority. But in our nutrition program, the Code Red Lifestyle, we do talk about self-care all the time. So you need to understand how important that is. So if you need help taking care of yourself, look, that's our jam. That's what we do. The best place to get started is the Code Red private network. You can get in the App Store or the Google Play Store or coderedlifestyle.com/app.
You will get food ideas. You're going to get support, programs, people that are going through the same thing that you are, people that are taking back their life. We're going to give you tips, tricks, and tons. So it's really designed to help you take your life back.
Yeah, I like it because you really are surrounded by like-minded people. And
Absolutely.
we're more similar than we are different. Isn't that crazy? Because like you'll read the posts and the things that people are saying and a rising tide lifts all boats. We learn together as a group. It's
Very
really
true.
cool. So listen, create your free account now, and we'll see you in the Code Red private network.
And we're not telling you to put your head in the sand and act like nothing is happening. And we're not telling you to put your head, Jesus, help me.
Yeah, and if you only focus on the things that you're doing wrong, that means nope, let me do it again. Because I'll tell you what, no matter how bleak seems...
No one should do this paragraph.
No matter what...
I'm sorry.